All right, everybody, welcome back to Court Farms for our 1,000 cow challenge series. Needs more drums. It is a beautiful morning here on the farm. It is the beginning of May. We spent last month trying to get all of the crops in the ground, at least all of the cereal crops, that is, so we can produce some straw. And now today on the agenda, we have to finish collecting the grass from the first cut of the year, and then get the corn in the ground as well. So those are our two objectives today. If we get done with that, then we're pretty much just going to be focused on other grass work around the farm, and then potentially doing some contracts as well to try to get our income up a little bit, because we are pretty much, we don't have a lot of cash. if I throw on the HUD right now, yep, we have only 28 grand because I had to buy a lot more seeds and fertilizer. And I actually forgot, I gotta pay Jerry. We did a lot of work. He helped us out a lot last month, so I'm gonna go ahead and pay him his monthly stipend of 5,000. Yep. So that puts us even more into the closer to the red. So yeah, we're definitely gonna need some contracts, and they're pretty. We can get some pretty good income from them, and they don't take too long to do, especially once we have nothing to do but cut grass. Because I mean, we've already pretty much done everything else that we could with the crops, except for the corn, but everything's already fertilized, herbicided, ready to go. I don't know if herbicided is a word, but it is now. So anyway, but yeah, before we jump in here, this is your friendly reminder to subscribe to the channel if you like. Also leave a like on the video if you would like to do that as well. And comment any suggestions or ideas or anything you think that I'm doing that's blatantly wrong. Well, this is kind of a fun, challenge series. I am trying to keep it realistic in terms of the equipment that I'm using and everything. So if you see me do anything that's drastically unethical or unconventional, please let me know. And I'm not a farmer myself, so I'd love to learn something new. But yeah, another side note before we get started here, I'm actually gonna put the game on pause. My new, if you've probably seen already, I am getting a new gaming PC. This video, I'm a couple videos ahead, so this video is still being recorded on the old PC. That's why some of the textures kind of load in a little weird. Yeah, like mainly if we kind of walk up here to the tractor, you could see, on the side that the logo's a little bit blurry. If we get in and go to the, interior view, the dashboard and the screen are a little bit blurry. And I think it's just, it's more apparent in this map because I think this map is a little bit more detailed and, requires a little bit more power. But I've had this issue with other maps as well. And sometimes, like, if I restart the game, it'll look better. But hopefully once I get my new PC up and running, this will be an issue with the past. And I'm very, very excited to get that going. I'll, keep you guys posted on, when it's done and everything, and when the videos will actually start making use of that. But it's going to take some time. I got to get all the data transferred over and stuff too, once I get it built. So, yeah, looking forward to that though. But in the meantime, let's keep, carrying on with what we're doing. So yeah, if we look at the map here real quick, you can see we have our wheat in field 60, oats planted in fields 57 and 58, and all of these, I believe, are sprayed. They should be all sprayed with weeds. There should be no weeds, except for those couple of gaps, I guess, but no big deal. Everything's fertilized as well, which is really nice. So no issues there. So the goal today is to plant the corn in field 59. I worked through the night, well, not through the night, but into the night last night, picking up all the grass here on this field, so it's ready to get be plowed and seeded. So I'm gonna have Jerry do that, and then we need to focus on picking up the rest of the grass on field 109 and then this field here. And I think I'm also gonna, once we have the time today, I want to cut the grass over here in the sheep pasture field that we're not using right now, and also over here, and even over here around this windmill and these cow barns, there's plenty of grass to be cut. And I believe we also own, land area 54 is also a grass field. So we have a lot of areas to cut. Yep, just that aren't actually official fields, so we can kind of work on those. And then I want to try. So I was using the forage harvester to pick up all the grass in field 59. Yes, back in April, and I got to figure out a way to be able to run that with two people, so I can kind of just run the trailer back and forth with the tractor and then have the forage harvester kind of do its thing. I think I have one way that I think I might be able to do it using course play, and essentially it would be creating a one course for windrowing, baling, and then following that same course for the forage harvester, I think that should work. As long as I just, even not even changing the work width, it would just still center it in the middle of the field. So as long as I run the same course for all of the components, it should work that way. But we'll have to wait till the next cut to see that anyway. And plus, I won't be able to use it on these temporary fields or these non-official fields. I'll have to create some. I can use quartz clay to create some field boundaries, and so I'm actually gonna give that a shot probably before the next cut or once we get these done and everything. Since I've never really delved into the or dove into the full functionality of course play before, I kind of use it for some simple things like just plowing, cultivating, getting the seeds in the ground, fertilizing, everything like that just requires kind of a simple set to work with and just set the headlands and just go. But in terms of some of the more advanced features like creating custom fields and using multiple vehicles on the same thing, which we're probably not going to do anyway, but just things like that, there's still a lot more that I could do with it. So still learning. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to comment on, what I can do to get my forage harvester, kind of like best practices, since I never really have used a forage harvester before. It's kind of difficult in this game because, it doesn't have a hopper. So I got to find some way to either attach. I was just using a trailer attached to it for the whole time, and then just kind of running that back here. But we'll see. So anyway, what I want to do now is I'm going to go have Jerry jump into the Ford there and get started on plowing the last remaining field. And then we are going to get in the, I'm actually going to disconnect that from the trailer. And actually, before we do that, I want to show you guys some. Let's jump on the New Holland here. And I want to show you guys something that I kind of figured out. So usually I use that big bag handler, but I actually kind of found that with big bags, it's a little weird when it connects to them. Sometimes they like fly around and it gets super strange. So I actually found out a better way to do this is by using the pallet fork. And see, because you can kind of adjust these, and if I bring it up high enough, you can actually get this right underneath, like through the handles. And actually, I should be able, if they're not too heavy for this, I should be able to pick up 4 at a time. Check it out. The telehandler works fantastic. So yeah, so there we go. There's a quick and easy way to move some big bags around. And so I'm not quite sure yet where I want to put these. I think I'm going to put them... You know what? I actually do know where I'm going to put them. I'm going to put them right back over here, kind of by the... Oh, whoops, wrong button. I always have that issue with my steering wheel. My headlights button is very close to my change direction button, so I always end up messing with those. But actually, I'm going to put these... Let's put them in here. That'll be good, because this is kind of where our seeding equipment is going. And so I'm going to put the fertilizer on this side and then probably the seeds on the right side. And this should be more than enough for this year and probably into next year. I just kind of wanted to buy them in bulk since I was at the store and, want to get them all loaded up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish unloading that once, and have, once Jerry gets started on the field. And then we're going to go ahead and get started with picking up the grass on the other fields, which I think I'm actually going to bale it, because I have heard, or I've done just a little bit of research when I was looking up kind of some forage harvester, kind of best practices and things. A lot of people say that if you use a forage harvester, you actually get less of a yield. This one doesn't want to work now, does it? There we go. Just got to be patient. It's a little bit meticulous, but I think it works a lot better. And this one on the end is totally going to fall off. But let's get there and be very, very careful. But yeah, and so when I was looking up kind of some stuff about the forage harvesters, a lot of people say that it actually decreases your yield if you're, doing silage. When it chops the grass, it actually decreases the volume of grass you'll get in your trailer and everything. So I'm probably gonna, although the bales are a little more time consuming, I'm probably gonna stick with those whenever possible, which today I think I should have enough time to get the bales. But yeah, just wanted to make that known, so I'm not always gonna use the forage harvester. Let's finish this up. Head over to the field and get started with our work for the day. Alright, and so while he's off getting started over there, plowing the field, you can see him up there in the middle, getting started on that. We're going to go ahead and take the case, hook up to the baler, and start getting this field here. Baler also got to get rid of the, move the forage harvester off of the field, but I'll do that in a minute. And yes, I know our tractor is looking very, very dirty, but I'll probably wait until we're done with kind of all of this grass work this month until I clean it, just because, you know, it's just going to get dirtier anyway, and I'd rather just kind of have it all clean for a little bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and once I move that, we'll go ahead and get started. Should get done with this pretty quickly. Baling never takes long. And we'll have to load all these up, which actually does take a long time. That's the least fun part about it, but, you know, hey, is what it is. Alright, we're just about to come up on the last pass here on this field. I mean, look at all these bales. We just have plenty of them. I know these are the smaller ones, but I mean, still, this is gonna take a lot of work to load up, and I'm not very excited about that. But hey, at the very least, you know, at least we got a good quantity, and I'm thinking pretty soon, at some point before the next year, I would like to plow these grass fields and get them replanted with the seeded grass, because I do think that gives you a little bit better yield, and you know, that's just kind of what I've heard. So I don't think it would be a bad option to do, and I'm just gonna go drive around here and pick up some of these little scraps. I don't want to waste, you know, too much, and you can get a fair amount, you know, just from some of these things that you leave behind. Be surprised. But yeah, so after this, I want to head over to the field right next to us, or behind us there. I got to get that one baled, and then he's doing a great job over there, getting that field all plowed and ready to go. We have the seeder already hooked up to the big tractor, the New Holland, or I guess the planter that is. We're trying out a new HORSCH planter. It's from the Aggravation Pack DLC, and it looks awesome, like it's just what we need. So I'm hoping that it does a good job. It's a good size. I think it's like 6 meters or something, so perfect size for the farm. That's kind of the nice thing about this map, is that, you know, I'm used to playing kind of the more American farms where you just got these big fields, and, you know, if your equipment's too small, then it just doesn't cut it. You know, everything takes so long to get done because your equipment's like just, you know, not up to the same scale as your fields. But in this map, you know, we got quite a few fields, but they're all, I mean, they're large, but our equipment's not anything super crazy. We're still using some, let's say some mid-grade equipment. You know, we're not using any massive, like, you know, 12-meter you know, seeders or anything like that. I mean, it's all pretty reasonable. Yeah, let's just check real quick. Check the time. It is only about 20 to 8, so we're making great time and great progress for today. I think we'll definitely be able to get a contract in today at some point too. That would be really nice. And I'm thinking I'd like to try to make it a silage contract if possible, just so we can get some more silage bales in, because I feel like that's going to be the thing that we're really going to need a lot of. And then I'll do some grass bales myself with one of the cuts for the year. I think the next cut we're going to do is going to be some hay. Then we'll do a grass cut after that. But yeah, this silage is, you know, we're making a lot of it, and plus we still have the corn that we'll be able to harvest later as well. So I think I'm just, again, no idea how this is going to turn out, but we're going to see if it's enough. I mean, I literally have no clue. But yeah, so I do want to start doing some contracts though, because like I said, I think the last episode or earlier in this one, I don't remember, but we do need a manure spreader and some way to haul our probably a manure spreader, a slurry spreader, and a tanker to haul our milk from our dairy cows, because I'm sure we're gonna have kind of a mix of different cows on the farm. I'm thinking about half and half between dairy and just like regular, you know, Angus cows. So, oh, don't want to run over that bale. Jeez. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna need to do quite a bit of contracting work to get us the money for all of those implements. I looked on the store and there's not, given the amount of cows that we're gonna have, I think we're gonna need something with a bit of a higher capacity. So I don't want to get anything too small, and you know, the bigger the equipment, the more expensive it is. So we're gonna have to save up. Probably, I mean, I'd like to try to make a close to 100 grand if I can this year. So if not, then we're gonna probably have to, you know, try to seek out some other means of, some other means of investment. I think I'm just gonna go a little bit slower with this baler. I know we can bale at like a really high speed, but I just feel like I keep running into problems. So I think I'm just gonna, we'll try like 6 miles an hour. I know that's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. At least now we might be able to keep up with it. Yeah, see, because like just like that, we just dropped that bale and now we got another one coming. It's too much. It's too fast. Take it a little slower. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, we're gonna need to invest in some pretty hefty equipment, I think, to keep up with the level of, you know, different products that we're gonna have to deal with. And you know, obviously, we won't really have anywhere to store our slurry or manure besides, you know, like the regular manure pits and stuff in the barns. I might see if I may have to put down a couple of extensions near the barns if possible. Otherwise, I think we could just, at least I hope we could just sell it. I'm kind of curious because I actually haven't really looked into that yet. And I wonder, you know what? Let's actually just check it out right now. Yeah, so it does look like there's a biogas plant and a garden center to sell our manure. And then we can also sell our slurry at the biogas plant as well. So we will have ways to keep those, you know, all, to get rid of those if we need to. Although, you know, we might not be able to really like wait and kind of chase the high market prices. You might have to just kind of sell as we on like an as needed basis. Whereas, you know, typically I like to store my products in some kind of silos or containers and then sell them when the prices are high. But in this case, you might just have to constantly sell it all the time if we are really producing that much to where we can't store it. So again, we'll just see what happens. But yep, I'm gonna carry on with this, and I forgot to move that windrower out of the way, so that's gonna definitely be on our way in a minute here. Or actually, it might not be. Maybe we can sneak past it. I know I gotta do a better job of really keeping the yard a little more organized. We've been pretty bad about just leaving equipment around everywhere, and it's kind of, I feel like I'm always moving stuff around, but we just have so much, and I've been trying to get all this stuff done at such a quick pace. You know, it's kind of hard to spend time cleaning the equipment and parking it and everything, because I know that I'm going to need it again in like, you know, 5 minutes. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm going to carry on with this and talk to you guys in a bit. And yeah, here we are with our new HORSCH planter, getting the corn seeds in the ground. I was gonna have Jared do this, but I'm a little bit selfish and wanted to try out, you know, this new equipment. So I decided to kind of just take it over. And plus, like, it's nice, we don't actually have to use the fertilizer tank on the front at the moment, because since we plowed the grass field, you know, into the ground, it's actually already fertilized to you know, both fertilization stages. So we are good to go from that regard. And this the work width on this is very nice, and I didn't even know it actually folds you know, when you can fold it up and it folds in half, so it's really, really easy to transport around the farm. You know, you don't have to worry about bumping into things. And yeah, this field's not super huge, so I feel like this is going to be a pretty quick seeding job here. Shouldn't take us too long, and I'll let Jerry have some time off for the minute, go grab some breakfast or something. But after this, what I want to do is go and I looked at a couple of contracts, and there seemed to be a couple of pretty good ones that are, you know, some reasonably sized fields, and the contract is actually, like, the sell point for the contract is actually really close to the field that the contract is in. So they're a little bit, I think they're over like that way to our left, kind of on that side of the map, kind of by where we sold our bales before in the last couple contracts. But there's some fields over there. I think it's like fields, you know, kind of the 110s to the 120s are all sitting over there. They're all really, really nice, rectangular, kind of smaller, narrow fields. But I think one of them was offering, you know, like 11 grand or something for a baling contract. So I think we're gonna go ahead and pick up at least one of those today, since all that we really have to do for honestly the next couple months is just load these bales up and do contracts. I mean, this field's gonna be done today. We're gonna have this all set up and ready to go. I already have the sprayer hooked up to the Ford, so when we're done with the seeding, we'll have Jerry go ahead and spray this real quick with some herbicide, so we don't, you know, better to do it now so we don't get that yield penalty. But then once we're done with that, well, even before we're done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple of those, at least one of those contracts, and get the mowing started, get the grass cut. We could get that, you know, kicked off, so that once he's done, he can come and help us out with that. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think we have an opportunity to really make some money in the next couple of days, since our grass work is, you know, not coming to an end per se, but definitely we don't need to do as much as before, and we don't need to worry about planting any more crops. I do, however, want to go over to some of those smaller fields that we have, kind of the other, like I was talking about earlier, the fields that aren't really official fields. There's some grass work to be done on some of those areas that are just kind of some of the bigger uncut areas around the farm. We can definitely go over there and do some grass work and get those cut as well, since it is a good time to do it. Or I could just wait till July, but I would like to get, you know, I mean, I guess the more cuts we can get in, the better. Even if one cut isn't as high of a yield, I think it still would benefit us to just have any additional grass that we could get. You know, I think that grass is probably fully grown now, but then if we cut it again in July, which is when I plan to cut these other fields as well, you know, those will be a little bit behind, but I mean, that's okay. I'm okay with that. So yeah, to come to think of it, I'm actually going to go and do that before I start any contracts, just because, actually, you know what, no, I'm gonna get a contract or two, maybe, depending on the field size. I'm gonna mow the grass in contract field, and then we'll come back and mow the grass here, while and then we'll have Jerry go over and windrow whatever we need to, or ted it, you know, if we need to ted it, if it's a hay contract. But I'm going to have him go over to the contract fields and do the field work there, and then I'll come back here and, you know, cut the grass here after I've cut the grass in the contract field. So yeah, I know I'm kind of rambling, just kind of talking out loud, but you know, there's a lot of thinking to be done on this farm in this series. There's just so much to do, and every moment that we spend not actually working towards any kind of progress, we're just wasting time and money. So I'd like to keep this momentum going as long as possible. The weather has been really, really favorable to us. This is another beautiful day. We have plenty of, you know, of work ahead of us. So the better prepared we could be by kind of getting, taking advantage of some of these contracts and all of the grass that we have available to us on this field, we'll be in a pretty good shape for when the cows actually get here in the winter. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. Then I'll check in with you guys once we get some of these decided on some contracts. All right, just finishing up our last couple of passes where we run this one again here on the edge there. I think I missed just a tiny little spot, maybe, but yeah, that actually didn't take long at all. This bigger equipment is so nice compared to some other equipment that I've used in the past, in different games, and especially my my other series that I did, that is not dead, by the way, Griffin, Indiana. It'll be back, just don't know when, sometime soon, hopefully. But yeah, so we got this done pretty quick, and now let's go ahead and get this back to the yard. I think I'm actually going to give this a quick wash, just because we're going to be going, probably taking this to do some contract work with the mower, and I don't want to be tracking all this dirt all on the roads and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just hose this down real quick with our pressure washer over here, and then we'll take a look at some contracts. That's just great. Would you look at that? It literally takes no time at all, and our tractor is looking brand new, nice and clean. Can't complain there. All right, let's go hook up to the mowers, and then we'll see if those contracts that I wanted are still available. So like I said, this field 120 and 121 are looking very promising. So this one looks like it's silage. This one's silage. This one's hay. So I would like to do a silage and a hay contract. I think that would be a good idea. And it looks like Leroy Wilson owns all of these fields. Maybe we'll do all three. I don't know. See how much time we have. That's a little ambitious, but I think we'll definitely do 119 and 120. And if you look on the map here, so our farm is over here. 119 and 120 are right over here, and I believe we need to sell them at either Folly Down or Long Meadow. 119 is Long Meadow, 120 is Folly Down. So yeah, so we'll be right there. So I think I'm gonna honestly just accept both of these, and I think we can get them both done today, given our we were able to get 2 contracts done in the first day we started, and we had way much more to do, and it's still bright and early in the day. So I think we can get one of those, have Jerry over there and mow that field. I'll stick around here and start moving around some of these bales. Oh, I forgot. I'll actually go mow that field, and then he can spray field 59 that we just planted with our corn. So yeah, cool. All right, I'm gonna accept both of these, 119 and 120, and we'll go ahead and get started on those. And man, I really hope that people actually start planting some different crops this year. I mean, this is just so weird that literally every single crop on this field is just grass. I'm finding that hard to believe, but anyway, not to worry. We'll go head over to that field and get Jerry started on spraying our freshly planted cornfield with some herbicide. And as you can see on our mini map there in the bottom, we are coming up to our 2 contract fields, fields 119 and 120. It looks like 119 is this one here to the right, which that is, well, if I can see past these trees, let's get out here and have a look. That's a pretty not super large field. Okay, I think we should have no problem getting this done. And then field 120 is just right next door here. Let's see if we can even get in here. This is very tight with our mowers. I'm a little bit nervous, but if I do a little 3-point turn here, looks like we should have no problem. And it looks like Jerry just got done spraying our field, so we can bring him down here with the windrower pretty soon, and we'll have him get started on that as soon as we are done mowing. But one thing that I gotta say though is, after getting the chance to drive over here these fields, I mean, this map is just really, really well done. I mean, this just gives me the best chance to, you know, explore the map a little bit, kind of doing some of these contracts, and it is very, very nice. So we're just going to go ahead and get started here. This should not take that long at all. I'm only guessing it's going to take probably just a couple of passes to get this whole field cut. And field 120 is not much much bigger, it looks like. I mean, maybe double the size, but it's still not super huge. So that's going to be really, really nice. And these silage contracts and any kind of baling contract, really, I know there's a lot of steps involved, but they're pretty lucrative, you know, at least in terms of how big these fields are and how much they're actually paying us for it. I really can't complain. I am, you know, more than happy to do these when we have a little downtime and not as much to do at our own farm, which we still, as I've said many times before, we still have a lot to do, and we still have a lot of, you know, grass to cut and stuff, you know, today as well. But overall, I think we definitely have time to fit a couple of these in, especially since we could have, you know, Jerry work on some of these on the side while we take care of what needs to be done back at our farm. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, get this cut, get field 120 cut, and then we'll have Jerry get down here with the windrower or a tedder in one of these cases. I forget which one is the hay contract. One of them is. And then we'll head back to our farm and get some work done there. So cool. And just like that, we're done with this one. Took us literally no time at all to get all that cut. So not a problem there. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get around this corner. Again, gonna have to do a little bit of a multi-point turn here. So that's pretty good. Now the gate, I did see it. It is just down the road here past these couple trees on the right. There it is. All right, let me try a little bit of a better angle on this one here. Having a little trouble getting in. Don't want to drive too much in the hedge. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Third time's the charm. Perhaps. That'll work. Not the best, but it'll do. All right, and there goes Jerry off to windrow this field, get it all ready for baling for some silage. And so we're actually going to go head back to the farm and grab Ford, since it's a little bit of a smaller tractor, hook that up to the tedder so we can get into this next field and start, you know, getting it all dried up for some hay. And then we'll go back and probably get this one with the baler, since this is our most powerful tractor. I know I've been running it off the International a lot lately, but no big deal. Nice to switch it up a bit, but yeah, we'll let him carry on with that, and then hopefully by the time we get back, you know, we'll have that field tedded, and then he can start to windrow that one as well. And I do need to remember, it's over there. I hid my map. Forget kind of where I'm going here. This map is pretty big, and it's quite a bit of a drive from here to our farm. Just not a very direct path unless we want to drive through some people's fields, which I really don't want to do, as I'm about to do it right now, just because it's a little bit shorter. But yeah, be back in a minute once we get everything hooked up. All right, and here we are with the tedder just pulling up into the field here. This thing's pretty easy to maneuver. Nice small tractor with a pretty small piece of machinery. Let's go ahead and unfold this. We're gonna head this field real quick while Jerry's still over there windrowing. Can't see. Oh, there he is. Back, coming up for some for another pass. Looks like he's almost done. But yes, hopefully we can get this done pretty quick, and then he can come back over here and windrow this, and then we'll go ahead back and get the baler to start, you know, make some silage bales. But for now, this field is super small. Shouldn't take long at all to really get this done. I mean, I'm thinking like, what, maybe 3 or 4 passes, especially since you can move a little bit quicker with these things. All right, and there's Jerry over there. Looks like he is done with that field. So we're gonna go back and get the baler and have him get started with this one real quick. Shouldn't take him any time at all because, I mean, look at how fast he did that one. He got done even before I mean, he was mostly done even before we were back over here with the tedder. So gonna have him get started on that, and then we will, yeah, go get the baler, get started making them silage bales, getting them wrapped and ready to get loaded. And then when Jerry's done with this, I'll have him go back and probably get the telehandler. And I think that the telehandler can actually pull a trailer, if I'm not mistaken. So if that's the case, then I'll have him bring that over here too, because we're right. We can actually see the bale sell points to those two white buildings back there. I think those are where we're going. So right down the road, not super far. But yeah, I'll see if I can hook that trailer up to there and have Jerry bring that over as well once he's done with this windrow over here. So yep, let's keep it going. Making good time so far. Once again, I forgot that you can't go around this building, so gotta go. I guess I could have gone through that garage, but now with this trailer, I don't feel like maneuvering it any more than I have to. But yeah, we just wrapped up getting all the bales loaded on our second contract, and we're gonna drop them off now. So what I'm gonna do though is, since we only have this one trailer, I'm gonna just gradually release a couple of these tension straps. I'm guessing probably need, we'll see how many we actually need to sell here. Not all of them, but I don't want to just lose them all. All right, that's it. So we got 4 to keep. Let's go and get this strap back on there. Make sure those are secure. And we will head back to the farm with these bales. Before we do that, actually, let's get back to the farm real quick. And then we'll get all of our equipment back and get these unloaded real fast. Just put them in the barn next to the other couple hay bales that we have. We don't have a lot yet, but I'm thinking of the next cut of grass that I do in July will be a hay cut, so we can get that going. I'm just trying to see if there's any quicker way that I can get over to my farm, but I'm not too sure. So I'm just going to go take the good old way back on the roads that I know best, and I'll catch up with you guys when we get there. And as we're driving back here, as this has kind of become a bit of a habit for me, you know, these drives back to the farm give me a chance to kind of think about things with the series and some of the plans that I have in the future. And so one thing that I was thinking about lately is, you know, in like the first episode, I was really worried about money and not being able to have enough, and realized, you know, we still don't have some necessary equipment, such as tankers for our slurry and our milk that the cows are going to produce, and any way to transport manure. We don't have any means for that as well. But, you know, now that I think about it, we can still lease equipment if we need to. So we could do, you know, like a lease to own plan, talk to the dealer, see if we can establish some sort of financing. And you know, I think if we did something like that, we would have a way better chance of getting everything that we need without having to worry so much about purchasing it up front. Obviously, that comes with, you know, a little bit of a cost. You know, when you lease something, you incur a little bit of interest on it from the payments and such. But, you know, overall, it would give us a little bit more time to accumulate some of those funds, especially if we get some dairy cows, which I anticipate having, you know, kind of a half-and-half split, as I've probably stated before, between some dairy cows and just, you know, regular like Angus beef cattle. So if we get the dairy cows and they produce enough milk, and we can, you know, probably get a tanker first since those are a little bit cheaper. You know, and we can sell that upright and then sell any, you know, use that money to invest in some manure and slurry transport equipment, and then sell that as well. And, you know, before we know it, we'll have the money to purchase, you know, all of that outright if we are leasing any portion of that. So not too worried about that. And, you know, if the cows are in good health and we get them producing milk pretty early on, then that'll be good. That'll be a good source of income for us, because in, you know, in the instance that we don't have enough of any one particular resource, whether it be straw, hay, silage, you know, anything like that, it would be good to have a backup source of funds if we need to purchase some of that stuff directly from, you know, the store or any of the other. I don't know if you can purchase that from some of the other stores on the map, but you know, if we need to do that, we'll have the funds to be able to do so. So those are some of the things that I was thinking about. You know, I think it would be good to kind of have some good backup plans in place, and always kind of have a good sum of money on hand, because the worst thing that we want to do is, you know, we don't want to have to get rid of our cows because we can't take care of them because we're lacking resources and funds to purchase the, you know, necessary food or equipment. So, you know, it is only May. We still have quite a bit of time, and since we don't really have to, I mean, we don't have to really worry about them. We actually don't need to worry about our crops anymore. They're all fertilized and basically, you know, the herbicides down, so we're good for the year for that in that regard. But the only thing that we still need to do is get 2 more cuts of grass in, and like I said, next cut is going to be hay. And then I'm thinking of doing a kind of the last grass cut. I'm wondering if I should do kind of half and half silage, and, you know, maybe some of these smaller fields I'll just get some grass bales too, because cows can eat the grass bales. So, you know, again, if worse comes to worse and we run out of the ingredients for TMR, at the very least we could you know, feed them some grass, kind of hold them over as long as possible until we get, you know, if we have the money to buy some more of the TMR ingredients, like I was saying, you know, we could do that too. But either way, it would be good. And then one thing that I want to do too is try to get the what do you call it? Can't think now. Oh yeah, I want to get the fields plowed and re-sown with some of the seeded grass, because that should give us a little bit of a higher yield than what we've got going on right now. So I'm thinking about doing that though after the last cut for the year. You know, I don't want to. Oh, come on, what am I doing here? There we go. I don't want to, you know, try to rush getting this all done right now. So I think, yeah, I'll wait till kind of just after we do the last cut, and then, you know, maybe even in the winter I'll get those fields plowed, and then we can replant them in the spring. Maybe that might be a smart move if I don't knock this bale off. Which reminds me too, one thing that I want to do as well is there's something that I've seen at the store that's kind of been catching my attention, and I'm thinking about seeing how much money we make from these contracts. I'm thinking about purchasing something new for, I don't know why that one's not, it's just not coming up, but let's see if we can get this in the barn like this, man. I swear, there's one thing about this game that just has never been too refined. It's the way that bales and pallets are handled. I don't even know how I'm gonna get this up here. Oh, this is ridiculous. You know what? It's good enough. It is good enough. That is not going anywhere. Fine by me. All right, but anyway, before we finish unloading these, let's actually go ahead and collect our money from our contracts real quick. Nice, good 18,000 for us. Honestly, not bad for, you know, a day's work. Honestly, just a half a day, and it's only 4 o'clock. So what I'm probably gonna do is, you know, get the rest of those fields mowed. But in terms of or the rest of our fields, that is, you know, we have some that oh, I see the problem. I'm just an idiot and put a what do you call it on it? That's not gonna help. having it strapped down. That's why it wasn't coming up there. Oh well, live and learn, I guess. But yeah, so I want to, you know, like I said, mow some of these random grass areas around the farm that aren't really fields, but, you know, just kind of the bigger sections of grass. Anything we can get, you know, is good. So I'm probably going to go ahead and do that. But in the meantime, I think this is a great spot to call it an episode. We got a lot done this month. And from here on out, it's kind of just, you know, grass work around the farm and probably doing some more contracts until... Oh, come on, don't fall down on me. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I just want to do some more contracts before our next cut in July, I believe. So we have a couple of months to get to work. And nothing, you know, really to do on this farm. I have tons of bales over there in those fields as well. I forgot that I have to load those up into the barn. So those are going to be quite... That's going to take some time. But you know what? I'm actually going to do this. Before we call it an episode, I'm going to do two more things here. So we got the bales in the barn. Good to go. This one doesn't fall off because apparently I can't seem to put these, stack them up nicely, but, you know, could be worse. Alright, so what we're going to do is actually take a look at the store here. And what I wanted to show you guys was this bale fork grabber with long teeth. It doesn't have the sharp spikes like this one, so we'll be able to handle the silage bales, I think, a little bit better. If we look at these, you know, they're not super sharp. So I think this will be perfect for what we're looking for, and we can actually change the capacity to be 1 or 2. We're definitely going to go 2. This will help us with our double stack of bales. And I know, you know, it might be a little bit of a little bit of cheating because it's kind of like a auto load, but you still have to load the trailer manually. And I think something like this, it just shaves a little bit of time and leads to less frustration with this game with the way that the bale physics are and stuff. So I'm actually go ahead and order this now. We just got some money on our hands. So I think that'll be really, really efficient for us. So I'm going to go pick that up. And then I'm also going to go ahead and pay Jerry for his work today. I know it's not quite the end of the day yet, but he's definitely earned it so far. And let me do that real quick before we head over to the store. So there's his $5,000 monthly stipend. And just like that, we spent like half the income that we've made from our contracts today, which is fine. we're gonna do some more tomorrow, and this bale tool is definitely gonna help us with, you know, speeding up our bale loading process and everything. And I think we'll be able to get those bales unloaded a lot more efficiently in a much cleaner and organized way in the barn. So I'm gonna put it to good use while we load up all the bales that I got left in the field. But for now, I think this is a great place to call it an episode. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you made it to the end, great. If you didn't, obviously you wouldn't hear me say that because you're not here. But anyway, yeah, the series has been a lot of fun so far. It's been a lot of work too. I really haven't done this much work in Farming Simulator like literally ever. These videos are taking, you know, quite a bit of time to make just because of the sheer amount of work that needs to be done with all the grass and everything. And having Jerry around is definitely super helpful. And, you know, he's been a great asset to the farm and, you know, putting in a lot of work and helping us out. But there are some things that, you know, I just still have to do, like loading the bales and everything and all that. That it just takes time. And hopefully, again, this new bale grabber will definitely help us with that. But yeah, hope y'all have a great week. Have fun doing whatever it is that you do, and I will talk to y'all in the next episode. See you guys later. Peace out and have a good one. Bye.